Hello and welcome back to Crooked Lantern. Today we're going to be taking a look at a Coleman 202 professional lantern. So the first thing you'll notice is that it looks like a 200A. In fact, it's similar in almost every way, except for the fact that from the fount to the top, it's made to be corrosion resistant. We'll go over a few of those reasons and what makes these lanterns valuable. They made these lanterns from 1954 to 1964. They came either with a steel or brass fount bottom, so the plate down here. This one has no date on it, and that's due to the fact that the early models were steel bottoms, and then they did like a hot tin dip, and that basically just covered up what markings there would have been. Sometimes if you have this bottom you can kind of vaguely see it, but on this one there isn't. These were designed to be very corrosion resistant, so these portions, so this and this, are going to be stainless steel, so this won't rust, and it stays really nice. The downside is that I've seen and heard that these can crack, so that can be bad, but generally, unless you're really rough on your lanterns, it's not going to happen. The way to date these, if you don't have a date on the bottom, right away, if you don't have a date on the bottom, you know it's going to be early. Because on the brass plated ones that they did later in the production, you could see the date codes on the bottom. But the other way to tell is that you're going to have a ceramic burner tube, or burner end, I mean. So on the end of the burner, and I'll see if I can kind of get in there, you can kind of see it's got like a bigger rim. Underneath it is like a more off-white portion. That's the ceramic bit. So it's the ceramic bit of the burner cap itself. Those came on the early models. It did come on some Christmas lanterns. It also came on some black bands, if I remember correctly. But it certainly would have come on the first couple model year runs of this lantern. It was marketed to be kind of just a durable, nicer looking 200A style lantern, kind of, you know, why they call it the 202 Professional. So I believe it came out around the same time as the 200A, so this was kind of just like the fancier model of it. You know, it can be used around water more often, you know, maybe salt water, used by camping tour guides and stuff like that, just to kind of have something a little bit nicer. You'll also notice, of course, that has the green vent. This one has a couple nicks on it, but overall in pretty good condition, and it's going to be the hi-hat. So it's going to have the taller vent like the early 200As did. But aside from that, the disassembly is almost identical. You just remove that and move the vent nut, and you remove the vent. You kind of get a better look here at the frame. You can definitely tell that it's got that better look to it. These had the kind of U-joint that goes from the burner air tube to burner tube there, but you can definitely see, you know, how it would differ. It just kind of got that kind of cool stainless steel, got hot at some point and look to it. This model has the original glass, Coleman with the sunshine globe, and then it's got the Pyrex, made in the USA. So kind of a cool lantern you maybe want to keep your eye out for if you see one. They've become a lot more valuable over the years. They're kind of harder to find. They only made them for 10 years, and it's not the rarest lantern, but it definitely seems difficult to find them. So if you find one and it's reasonably priced, I would suggest buying it. This one was had for $2, and a buddy of mine grabbed it out of a person's yard, one at a yard sale, and he said, "You want to sell that?" And they said, "Oh yeah, that old thing? Sure, $2." So he bought it and he gave it to me, which was really nice of him. You know, pretty happy with it. Most of these stickers, for some reason, I don't know if it just has to do with the nickel plating, they don't stick as well to this plating. They stick a lot better to the paint, because this was completely worn off. And so I got old Coleman parts, I got one of these stickers just to replace it. Fairly certain that this is the correct style sticker, and unfortunately that old one was it was gone. So you know, I like to keep things original. I don't like to modify them or add anything at any time, but I had to have something there because it just looked terrible. The nickel plating on here is pretty nice. I usually give it a good polish with some semi-chrome or something like that. But this is one of the nice lanterns that I keep in my house on display because it's a pretty lantern. So, and of course it does work, so I could light it up if I wanted to. Those are all the things that you kind of want to look for if you find one of these. Again, they were made between 54 and 64. The earliers will have a ceramic cap on the burner tube, and the base will be a dead giveaway. If it's brass, it's dated between those years of 54 and 64. This is nickel plated. You're likely got a real one. If you can't see any date at all, more than likely it's early, it's steel, and it's going to have a hot tin dip, which covers up those dates. And sometimes you can kind of faintly see them, and unfortunately on this one, that tin is just so thick, and you can kind of see it's just pulled up there, and so you can't see it. But either way, let me know if you like these little mini videos about my collection pieces in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.